What's good, YouTube? It is Wednesday, I believe March 30th, 2017. Just going to do another quick video. Like I said, I'm still starting here in a couple days on Monday, April 3rd. But I wanted to kind of throw out some more information that's been asked in a couple groups. And so I thought, well, since I got time, I might as well try and get a video going. Hope you guys can see me all right and hear me all right. Hopefully I'm speaking loud enough for you guys. Not sure why there's such a glare on the video, but a couple things I wanted to bring up right away was that's been asked is logbooks and electronic logs, as well as what to mark on your logbook whenever you take your 10-hour break. So with the camping industry, you are required to follow all DOT rules and regulations. So that's driving 11 hours in a 14-hour period with a minimum 30-minute break between your first 4 and no later than 8-hour shift of that day. So anyway, so what that means is you can't mark down your 30-minute break before the first 4 hours, and it has to be done before you hit your 8-hour mark for that day. So that's one of the things that was brought up. Another thing, as far as electronic logs goes, some people have been asking in some Facebook groups that I'm a part of, there goes a rock chip, as RV haulers, if we are required to do the mandated electronic logs. To my knowledge, as it stands right now from the company I'm contracting with, we do not have to follow under that guideline. Now, there might be some different rules set up depending on the type of equipment that you use. Meaning, if you go over the 26,000 pounds gross weight, your truck is now considered a commercial vehicle. So that means you have to log everything. So like if you're going to go to the grocery store, the bank, church, whatever it may be, and you drive your vehicle, you have to put yourself on duty, or driving, essentially, and everything else like that. You gotta keep track of your miles that you go. Now that's if your truck is deemed 100% commercial use. Now, for me and a lot of guys, my truck will be under that 26,000 pounds. I don't have it registered to go over 26,000 pounds. So that means that I can use my truck for essentially a partial commercial use slash personal use, unless I plate my truck into the commercial side, which I don't plan on doing because I use my truck for everything and I go everywhere in my truck. So plus once you get into the 26,000 gross, or go over the 26,000 gross, there's a lot more guidelines and stuff like that you have to fall into, and stuff like that. And so to avoid all that, I'm keeping my plates, my registration under that 26,000 gross pound weight. That's combined weight. Now, there's some guys that will drive Class 8 vehicles, which is essentially your tractor trailers. Those guys, I'm not 100% sure if they are required to have electronic logs. but I know DOT is making it mandatory for all trucking companies to be current with the electronic logs as I think it's like December 27th or something like that. Basically the end of December of this year. All those trucks have to have your electronic logs, which, I mean, me personally, I don't like it. I'd prefer to stay paper logs, but that's just a personal preference. But anyway, so that's one thing I wanted to bring up. The next thing I wanted to bring up that coincides with the logbooks is what you mark on whenever you take your 10-hour mandatory break. So a lot of guys will sleep in their trucks to save the expenses of the hotels and stuff like that. But there's two things that you need to pay attention to that can really mess up you overall, and that is you need to make sure that if you are going to log sleeper berth, you have to have a DOT approved sleeper berth. You can't turn your back seat into it, you know, and stuff like that. There's certain requirements that DOT has set up to make it so that you are compliant with that. So let's say you're gonna go take your 10-hour break and you go to sleep in the back seat, and it's not a DOT approved area or sleeper berth, I should say, then you need to make sure that you guys put it on off duty, and I'll kind of show you if I can find this. So right there's off duty, right there's sleeper berth. The only time that you can go on your sleeper berth, or you should mark a sleeper berth, is if you have, like I said, a DOT approved sleeper berth. If you don't, and you mark that you are in a sleeper berth and you're actually not, or don't have an approved one, DOT will eat you alive. I mean, the fines I've heard are just insane. So a lot of guys, what they do is they'll take out the back seat, or take out the passenger seat, whatever it may be, and they'll just kind of make their own bed in the back, and that's what they sleep on, and they put it in as off-duty, essentially not driving. So that's one thing that you guys need to make sure that you guys pay attention to. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You know, I'm not a pro at all this stuff. I did a lot of local driving, so for me, I never had to worry about the sleeper berth or anything else like that. When I transported campers last year, I just took a foam mattress and I put it in the back, and that's what I slept on, and I put it in as off-duty. Obviously not driving. And, you know, I never got stopped by DOT, so they never really questioned anything. But I know there's a lot of guys that have been stopped by DOT, and that's one of the things they look at, is to see where you actually sleep at. Some DOT officers will kind of grill the drivers. They'll kind of like trick question them. So a lot of times guys will basically be like, you know, if they ask you like, hey, well, where do you sleep at night? And then basically it's wherever my head, you know, wherever my head lays. And that's essentially just to kind of keep them from messing with you. You know, that's not to say that every DOT cop out there is going to mess with you. It does seem like there's a lot of, you know, just like with the regular police force, and I'm all for the cops. I support them 100%, as long as they're doing everything, you know, the legal way. There's a lot of cops that are good, and there's a lot of cops that are bad. There's a lot of DOT guys that are good, and there's a lot of DOT guys that try to puff out their chests and just kind of, you know, and it's sad, but, you know, it is what it is, and you just got to kind of buckle down and just kind of, you know, go along for the ride. So anyways, this video is going to be short. I just wanted to bring up a couple of those things. And then on Sunday, like I said, is when I plan on doing another live stream on my way down to Indiana. I have orientation on that Monday, getting my fifth wheel hitch installed on that Monday, so I'll do some more videos on that day as well. And then hopefully that Tuesday I'll be able to get my first run, and we'll kind of go from there. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.